right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. Let's start that discussion. We're calling it State of the Nation, all matters, politics, and everything in between there. We're going to talk about the COVID-19 restrictions, confusion. We're going to talk about President Uhuru meeting the party leaders. We're going to talk about the drought appeal, and also we're going to talk about the Kenyans who are stuck in Saudi Arabia. We'd like to hear your views on all those topics at Trevor Mbiji at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Daybreak. Let me introduce my guest one more time. Dr. Alfred Mutua is here, Governor for Machakos. Asante for making time. And Honorable Samson Cherargei, Senator for Nandi, is also here. Dr. Kimani Wamatangi is en route. We will find out from him. If he lands, we'll speak to him in just a bit. We'll also split the program into two and go to Homa Bay, where Stephen Leto is standing by with the ODM leaders to find out what the agenda is going forward. Right? Brilliant. Let's start off with the dailies. They actually have two contradicting headlines. So Uhuru talks deadlock on one side amid BBI anxiety. Presidential race talks between ODM leader Raila Odinga and OCA principals to resume after Friday's BBI judgment following failure to strike a deal on the way forward in a meeting yesterday. That's on the Standard. On the Daily then, their title, their headline is Uhuru corners OCA chiefs to back Raila. All right? So they're saying One Kenya leaders give conditional nod to support former Prime Minister, while President Kenyatta advises them to disband the alliance in readiness for a coalition of national unity that would bring in more politicians to reflect the face of Kenya. Cherargei, is this the winning ticket if it goes through?
From where I sit, it is not the winning ticket, because all these people, if you saw Senator Malala, and I think it was covered by Francis Kashuri yesterday during JKL, Senator Malala, who is a close ally and a confidant of Musalia Mudavadi, has indicated that they are going full hold to the ballot. You have seen also Kalonzo Musyoka is insisting on being on the race, and other One Kenya Alliance chiefs. So what will happen if that is Musalia Mudavadi is not on the presidential ticket? The votes, he will not get any votes in Western Kenya. Similarly to Kalonzo Musyoka. So, and you know, for example, Kambani politics, there is also Governor Alfred Mutua. You can't wish him away. There is Governor Charity Ngilu, among other leaders who will be running for those. So from where I sit, I think, and I said before in this forum, and it is on record, that I would have appealed to President Uhuru Kenyatta to leave succession politics to run its full natural course. Because by the fact that he's trying to micromanage all these saying who should succeed is clearly giving unfairly undue advantage to other candidates. Because if we use state machinery and state resources, which is common with how we do Kenyan politics and African politics, then it will give disadvantage to other candidates. Why are you forcing people to work together? But from where I sit, I think the meeting did not go very well, because all these people want that ticket. And you have seen, in fact, they are saying it is, they are trying to use BBI outcome to negotiate, because the BBI, which Trevor brings to the point that we have insisted on this show, that handshake was not about the unity of the country. It was about sharing power. Because you can see, if the old president of a republic is telling these coalition opposition leaders come together, BBI will pass and will be able to share the spoils amongst the youth. So Trevor, from where I sit, I think the winning ticket is where that will be crafted by Kenyans and will be decided by Kenyans. So let us be patient. I know at the end of the day, all these people want to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta, because they imagine that there are votes in State House. And it is shocking, by the way. I'm surprised. At least somebody like Alfred, somebody like, I've seen Raila Odinga once in a time meeting people. Of course, the deputy president has been meeting cross-section of Kenyans. But many people forget that votes are not in State House. I don't know where this imagination. Even my local MCA knows that the votes are with the people, not with the senator, not with the governor. So I don't know. I thought these are senior, experienced politicians that most of us seated here that know that votes are not given in State House. They are given somewhere when you go and sell your agenda, when you sell to your people. Finally, Trevor, before I cede the ground, is that I want to wish our under-20 athletics all the best as they begin their training, their championship here in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And I want to ask the Ministry of Sports and Athletics Kenya that we are watching very keenly.
Yeah.
You remember the day we were here, we had complained about poor reception of athletes. But also the rewards that were given were underwhelming, because you saw gold were given 1 million, silver 750,000, and bronze 500,000, and each team member was 200,000. Apart from having the worst uniform, there was nothing else to celebrate about our champions. You saw our Uganda were giving out SUVs and building houses. So I think that the awards that were being given is very unfortunate, and this matter will take it up in Parliament. Secondly and finally is I want to thank the IPOA and the DPP, at last the Kianjokoma brothers, the Embu brothers that were killed. We hope they will get justice, because this curfew, in fact, the police brutality and extrajudicial killings by police has killed more Kenyans than the COVID itself. Okay. So, and many across the country, you know, it's not about Embu. Even in Nandi, we have similar in Mombasa and many other areas. So we hope, and police should know that when you are doing these crimes, you might think you are doing under the cover of the police uniform. But when prosecution comes, it is the same colleagues who will arrest you. Yeah. It is the same people who will take you to the rock. So we hope justice for Embu Kianjokoma killings. All right. Brothers.
Served. Governor Mutua, is there any undue advantage when the sitting president himself is pushing for a coalition among a section of leaders?
I think there's what I would call a major political blunder that is going on. And first of all, I want to say jambo to our listeners and our viewers from Kenya, East Africa, and all over the world, saying it is another great day that the Lord has made. I also want to join my brother here in recognizing our athletes under 20 and wishing them well, and hopefully that things will be organized properly for them to perform very well. You know, when it comes to issues of coalitions, I agree with my good senator, I call him Senator Cherangai, that votes are not in State House, but they are neither at Keren, you know, his residence. They are not there. Ziko mashinani kwa wananchi. Yes. That's why I keep on saying that wananchi tutawashtua sana. People will get heart attack in 2022 when the votes are counted. Because Kenyans are tired. We are tired of the same machinations. What we are seeing in the newspapers for me is misinformation. You can't have one big daily saying everything is rosy, another daily saying kuna shida. It means that people are just speculating. Ni kupangwa na pango. Huyo unapatiwa pesa, andika hii, unapatiwa pesa. I'm just saying, I think that's what's happening, because you can't have reputable newspapers really writing things that are different kabisa. It means that they're being fed information and it's being pushed for a certain agenda. When I say that it's a mistake of what is happening, is because some of these coalition meetings and agreements are done traditionally secretly. Munapika huko quietly. Ikishaiva, that is when you come public. But you shouldn't have the president chairing a coalition meeting at State House that is a public issue. You know, we shouldn't have it. We shouldn't have pictures and status of people meeting to discuss coalitions. Yeah. These things should be done huko chini, alafu zinazinduliwa. Wananchi wanasema aha. Let people hear rumors. Kuna mikutano inaendelea. Ulikuwa kwa mkutano, huko kwa mkutano, but it shouldn't be that way. The other thing is that it is very important to note that the largest population in this country is young. Yeah. And this population wants to see the face of Kenya. And the face of Kenya is just about gender, tribe. They want to see also young people. And there has to be a transition between the young and the old. And we are not saying that the old have to basically wafunge virago ende nyumbani. They have a lot to offer. But whatever the coalition that will win in this country will be a combination of the older experienced and the younger energetic people who can actually transform this country. Yeah. And that is why some of us are running for president. Because we believe that we can lead this country with others giving us the proper advice and guidance to be able to go forward. And we are committed, na tunaenda mpaka mwisho kwa debe, because we have to save this country from itself. Because our politics has been politics where people are under mind control and they are told what to do, how to do it. You are placed in political cocoons, in tribal cocoons, and people wanafuata tu. Munafuata, mnaambiwa hii tunaenda hivi. You need to start asking yourselves, tunaenda hivi kwa nini? Hii tunaenda hivi itaniongezea unga kwa mfuko, itaniongezea chakula kwa watoto wangu, itaniongezea nauli, itaniongezea shamba, itaniongezea sabuni,
Yeah.
will it really help me? Ama ni kuhakikisha wale wamekaa hapo hapo.
Okay. But Cherargei, you say that votes are not in State House, but you have to admit that there is a bit of influence from there, right? That's the reason why even the deputy himself, when there was a bit of a sidelining, he decided to go on his own.
I think I want to agree with my brother when he says that it gives undue influence and undue advantage over other presidential candidates. Because from where we sit, of course, I agree with you. Because this is a sitting president, he has all the apparatus and systems, and he controls the resources of the country, he controls the security apparatus. And the one that has always been misused is normally the police service, and also what we call the former professional administration. So from where I sit, of course, and that is why we want to say that if the president wishes well for this country, if the president appreciates that this country is a democratic society where we express free and fair elections to any candidate that might win in 2022 general election, then it does not have a business by sitting somewhere and maybe telling Alfred here, step down for so-and-so, or so-and-so step down for Alfred. I think from where we sit is that there is a bit of influence, and that now can lead to the rigging of elections, because if you're having a system, you know, the danger also is that and I hope IEBC is watching, is where the state will use state machinery to campaign. And this has been a problem not only in Kenya but across Africa, where state resources are being used in a situation to give an undue advantage to other candidates. So from where I sit, of course, an outgoing president can have an influence because, of course, they have that power of resources for system. But one thing, and that is why we have been saying we might not have those, but we have got the father and the people of Kenya, and we hope the ordinary Kenyans can see through, because if you know, a democracy is where you go and vote for somebody, not because of their tribe, not because of their religion, not because of who they are or where they come from, but because you believe. And you have asked Dr. Alfred Mutua a very pertinent question, that what is in it, what is the agenda that, and he has responded by saying, why are you voting? Why are you supporting so and so? That is a very important and very key point, because what I, as a candidate, it's not that I want to win because President Uhuru Kenyatta is supporting me. Is that will be a shocking manifesto, because it's that if a candidate today is arrived by saying let's become Raila Odinga, will Raila be walking around the country and saying, you know, vote for me because President Uhuru Kenyatta has endorsed me, or because the president believes in me? I thought what we should be selling to ordinary Kenyans is that vote for me because I want to fix economy, I want to fix infrastructure, I want to ensure that equal access and equitable access of resources in the country. I think that is the bottom line. But from where I sit, and that is why I've always appealed to President Uhuru Kenyatta, that if he wants to retire peacefully, if he wants to leave a lasting legacy, is to allow succession politics to run its full course, number one, and number two is to ensure that he presides over and ensures that a peaceful electoral process. Okay. That's how the country will move on. Yeah.
Governor, are you looking to form coalitions yourself? Because we know the way the voting blocks in this country work. I mean, we are not going to reinvent the wheel here. No.
Yeah. But you see, you cannot just form a coalition for the sake of just power. And see, one of the differences that my party, Maendeleo Chap, is different than the others, is that Maendeleo Chap is a party formed out of ideology. We are not a party just to get power for the sake of getting power. You see, and I said here last time, all of these other parties have been formed to get into power, including KANU. KANU was actually put together kumng'oa mkoloni ndio tuweze kupata uhuru. Ukiangalia even ODM came after the 2005 referendum. I was in government. Orange Democratic Movement. Why is it called Orange Democratic Movement? Because the signs for that referendum were orange and banana. Maybe if they were banana, they would now be called the Banana Republic, Revolution Movement. It came from there, that orange color that was chosen by that electoral commission at the time, and they were on that side of opposition. And ODM was formed by, the first signatories, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, all these guys were in ODM that are now coalescing together, including Ruto. They are part of the formers, the people from ODM. But the ODM came in to take over power from Mwai Kibaki. If these other parties that came together, even when we formed PNU, PNU was put together to take over. Even party yao ya UDA, it has been put together because it is there to win seats, to take over power. You know, that's how it is, because wamekosana na Jubilee. Jubilee was put together ati tuko pamoja, hawako pamoja to defeat Raila so they could continue in power. So the only party that is a party formed out of ideology to change the lives of these people, and that's why it's called Maendeleo, development for our people, is my party Maendeleo Chap Chap. So we are not just going to run into a coalition for the sake of it. We want to get into a coalition first after we have finished our work on the ground. We are doing our work quietly. Watu watamko wakute tumeenda.
Okay.
Tumeenda na you know, na watu wao. Because we are doing our work quietly. And then after that now, we will now sit down with like-minded people who care about this country.
Okay.
Who we can also work with to change the livelihoods of our people of this country.
All right, the Deputy President spoke about coalitions, and this is what he had to say.
Two sets of competitors. We have one group that is still struggling with tribalism. They run tribal parties. They cannot even agree on a candidate because everybody has gone to the meeting with their tribal chief and their tribal party. They wako na shida mingi na mambo ya ukabila. Hiyo ni group moja. Group ingine ni ya jamaa mwingine anatuambia ati kuna shida kati ya Mkenya mmoja na Mkenya mwingine. They brought us the handshake. They told us then that there was a problem amongst Kenyans and we need to bring Kenyans together. But what happened? We destroyed Jubilee, the ruling party. It destroyed NASA, the opposition coalition. It sabotaged the Big Four plan. It created a big charade called BBI. We lost 4 years as a nation chasing the wind called BBI. Today, we are net losers.
Gerard Gay, will you not be forming a coalition yourselves as UDA?
Should I? I think the Deputy President has quote-unquote captured everything, and if you are, somebody was watching, should I add more? I don't think so. But from where I sit, just for purposes of emphasis, I think the Deputy President has been very clear that going into the future is that the only coalition he will do is with God and Kenyans, ordinary Kenyans. And that is the conversation we want to have as a country. And you know, and I agree with Governor Mutua when he says you don't just do coalition agreements for the sake of doing it or for convenience. In fact, the One Kenya Alliance and Raila Odinga grouping are making Kenyans believe that it is through coalitions that you can achieve power or you can win an election. But from where the Deputy President and all of us sit, you can hear this coalition is more of a tribal conglomerate where you are bringing because your tribe has the highest numbers, others do not have highest numbers. So from where I sit, I think the Deputy President has captured it very well that these are parties that are being formed. Look at all these parties where they are domiciled. And like United Democratic Alliance, UDA, where we sit is that you can see it is a representative of the whole nation, the face of Kenya. And I think that is what is very important. But forming coalition, I think you can see the stakes are high because you saw One Kenya Alliance when they were in Naivasha, they tried forming, they are now, if these people are serious about bringing a unity of purpose, and let me this be put in context. If you want to be serious about bringing the country together, dissolve those parties. For example, One Kenya Alliance should dissolve KANU, ANC, Ford Kenya, which was the other party, Wiper. They need to collapse all those parties and form one party. Then they can tell the country that we are the face of the nation because you believe in one party. And when you support that particular party, it is ideological party that you are supporting. But these people are bringing the net value of their tribal voting bloc. And that is essentially that what we are saying. And then number two is that what the Deputy President, if I can emphasize, was trying to say is that there are other partners who are selling fear. by saying it is like if you don't vote for us, then the country will not be united, then the country will not be peaceful. And I think that is wrong, because you are saying if I'm not in power, if I'm not voted, then it means the country is not united or the country is not for progress. I think what we should be telling the country, if handshake was genuine, was we should have seen more development, we should have seen achievement of the Big Four agenda. But what we are seeing is that, you remember, and I've always insisted as I conclude, that when the president and the deputy ran for 2017 general election, they didn't promise handshake or BBI. They promised what we call Big Four agenda. Now, it is, in fact, we are violating, the president is violating the covenant.
Yeah.
Because the promise or not you made to Kenyans was about the Big Four agenda. But what you are delivering is the opposite. And I think as a country, it is unfortunate that the president, instead of achieving Big Four agenda, is meeting opposition leaders and telling them, oh, you need to sit. But he has a Jubilee party, some MPs, the Kieleweke wing, they were meeting in Kiambu. Because what is shocking is that President Uhuru Kenyatta is a party leader. He has 8.4 rank and file of Jubilee. Even if he didn't want to support Deputy President William Ruto, there are 8.4 million plus Jubilee rank and file. Yet you now leave your own party and go and negotiate with opposition chiefs to decide who becomes the president. I think that is where we go wrong as a country.
Okay. Governor Mutua, do you think that they should dissolve those parties? Because Cherargei himself was saying that they left Jubilee under UDA. Why didn't they stay?
I think let's go back to the genesis of the handshake. Yeah. The reality is that this country was aflame. We had seen Raila Odinga go with some characters, some of them very good, some of them very questionable, to Uhuru Park and swear himself in as the people's president, something that does not exist, which was neither here nor there, because today Cherargei can wake up and declare himself the Pope. You will not be the Pope. There's a way of becoming the Pope. Yeah. If the Pope's seat is vacant, you can't put on a gown and say, Mimi sasa ndio Pope. And people come and anoint you to be the Pope. There's a process of who the Pope is. However, it brought a lot of tension in this country. There was lack of stability. But you could have seen what happened when the handshake occurred. There was immediately the country stabilized. Even economically, shares went up. The shilling stabilized because the country grows when there's political stability. Now, unfortunately, William Ruto was not included in the handshake because he was seen as a kid who would throw tantrums. Because for him, he would be scared that with Raila coming in to unify the country and bring stability, it was going to deny him a chance to what he thought is his right to be the next president of the Republic of Kenya. Nobody is born with that right. And when I talked to Raila and I talked to President Uhuru, and they told me the story of how they used to meet, President Uhuru would drive himself somewhere and they would meet with Raila, and they didn't tell anybody. It was the two of them. And why did they keep Ruto out of the loop? Because he would be a spoiler. Because he was thinking about himself. And them, they were thinking about how do we settle the country, because the country is bigger than an individual. That is the history of the handshake. Now, what has occurred after the handshake, we saw immediately information in UDA nini. Ruto, instead of going to Uhuru and telling him, can I be part of this game, akaenda rogue. Akasema, oh, mimi nimeachwa, akanuna, akaenda kando. And I'm talking facts now. It's not perception. Facts. Akanuna, akaanza kufanya mambo yake. So wakaanza kwenda pande moja. So it looked like there is one side, another side. Wakaanza kupigana hiyo mambo. Hii Jubilee walikuwa wamesema tuko pamoja barely a year ago. They formed parties, they won the election, walikuwa wanashikana mkono, Uhuru na Ruto wakiform serikali, ikasambaratika. Why? Because one person thought it is either my way or no way. Now we went into a competition. Now it became competition where now Raila has joined hands with Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta has a deputy called William Ruto. But now they are at loggerheads. Kuna mtu mwingine ameingia kwa nyumba na kuna shida. So as a result of that, that's put us to where we are today. Yeah. It is basically an issue of self-interest. It was not an issue of what are Kenyans getting. It is not an issue of how we going to create more jobs. It was not an issue of are we going to tarmac more roads? Are we going to provide more water? Are we going to deal with the drought that comes often? It was an issue of, oh, nimenyimwa kiti, huyu ameingia, huyu akaingia akasema hayasani wakati wangu. So that is the problem that we have in this country, whereby we've got leadership whereby people do not focus on the poor mwananchi, on that unemployed youth. Yeah. People are now focusing on themselves. Okay. And that is the challenge we have.
All right, I have to take a quick break. When we come back, we talk about the possible cabinet reshuffle very quick and then get into the conversations around the COVID-19 restrictions, confusion. See you in just a bit.